Hi guys, and welcome to another classic game review. And today's game is Call of Duty Big Red Knob. Oh, sorry, Big Red 1. Let's just read what it says on the back. Join the Big Red 1, America's most legendary infantry division. To experience the cinematic intensity and chaos, battle as never before on consoles. So get to see some of the features. Get to know your squad in some of World War II's most harrowing conflicts. Experience a wide variety of land, air and sea missions. Battle using vehicles including tanks, jeeps, armoured cars and half-tracks. So in this Call of Duty game, it is a slight variation on the Call of Duty 2. This is a console exclusive release. And it's got to be one of the better games on PlayStation 2. It's probably in the top 10 FPS games on PlayStation 2. Okay, so whereas a lot of the other Call of Duty World War II games, you play as the 101st Airborne or the some other airborne division, in this game you're playing as the infantry division that was called the Big Red One. They were deployed on the Western Front in World War II and did a lot of the donkey work for the more elite units that might follow them in. So as the blurb which I read says, it is a wide and varied FPS game. There are levels where you have to do on-rail shooting, so you jump in a armored car, or so there are several different mediums that are employed in the playing of this game. There is a level where you are on a bomber, an allied bomber, and you have to keep switching seats to take down German fighter planes. Then there's a few on-rail shooting sections. I'm not really a big fan of on-rail shooting, but you know, it does, I suppose, break up the FPS stuff. Apart from the first person shooting, which was my favourite, the only other level that I did enjoy probably, besides the being in the bomber, was when you play a tank in North Africa. That's really neat. It's got all the mechanics of playing like World of Tanks. So one of the best things about the game is the varied theatres of warfare in a lot of different interesting locations, such as against pro-German French in North Africa, and they have their own set of weapons that were obviously not as well known as the German or American weapons. One of my particular favourites was a machine gun called the Mass. It was an interesting one. And also there's levels set in Italy where General Patton obviously landed in Sicily there and had to establish a beachhead against Italian forces who obviously were not a patch on the Germans. But that again is interesting because if you pick up their weapons, they have something called a Caracano rifle, which is pretty poor really. If that's how it is in real life, that is. And then there's like a Breda, which is a machine gun, very crude and kind of difficult to handle. Again, if that's how it was in real life, I can see how the Italians would have struggled with that sort of out-of-date machinery, but it's cool to touch, you know, to have some interesting weapons to use. The weapons in the game are all quite fun to shoot. The animations are really nice, like when you reload and things, and most FPS buffs, myself included, like to see a nice, neat weapon making trademark sound. So anyway, yeah, the problems with a lot of console FPS is that when you use the DualShock controller, it takes longer to aim. If the enemy is sort of hidden up on a hill or something and it's just their head pointing out, it can sometimes take a little while just to get your cursor in the right place. Obviously this doesn't have like an N64 Bond auto of aim. So yeah, that can be a little bit frustrating because on PC games, obviously with a mouse you hit everything very quickly. Yeah, so as I said, some of the level design is really cool in this game. I like the final level called Dragon's Teeth. It has that real distinctive feel with those triangular shaped anti-tank tracks, i.e. Dragon's Teeth. Also, you lose your guys throughout the fight and one of your best pals gets, I'm afraid, blown up. You know, you go, oh my god, but he's already dead, and we can't be bothered to have another cry over another loss, so we gotta move up. But yeah, it's these little personal touches are pretty neat, and shows they didn't like just knock this out to make money. They have put some effort in. It's a neat little shooter, you know, got a very unique feel. Yeah, so overall, I think I would give this game a solid 8 out of 10. It's definitely one of the best first person shooters on PlayStation 2, definitely in the top 10. If I was going to rate it today, I'd probably give it a 7, but since I'll try and go for the more for the time when it was released. Cheers guys, and happy gaming. Ta-ra.